everyone. Thank you for joining us once again on the channel that brings you nothing but authentic and verified news happenings around the country. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time of day that we may be reaching you. Thank you to all of our new subscribers. We'd like to say a very big welcome to you. Please do well to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Now, to all of our existing subscribers, we'd like to say thank you so much for your constant support. We do not take it for granted. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our posts as they come your way. Thank you and God bless you. On today's report, the former President Olusegun Obasanjo has said that there will be democratic quagmire if we fail to retrace our political steps as a country to its right direction. Now, in his words, he says, without retracing our political steps to the right direction, the current process will not produce the right leaders. Now, how do we as a nation actually retrace our political steps to the right direction when we have our democracy being overrun by thieves, fraudsters, and wicked politicians who only care about themselves? Now, what can the Nigerian people do? What can the common man do to actually retrace our steps? When we say retracing our political steps, if we want to actually have right leaders in Nigeria, we do need to have a total overhaul of our political system, like a total overhaul. All these bad leaders need to go, and we'll have fresh minds actually coming into elected offices. Now, the common Nigerian can actually do little or more to all of this. So far, as much as Nigerians have tried to vote in the right leaders into power, into various elected offices, we've seen that a lot of all these political parties and politicians actually know how they find their way around rigging of elections and finding their way through cutting corners to be able to get these elected offices. And what that we see, a lot of them actually buying electorates and buying delegates to be able to make sure that they win in their various forms in the country. So how do the common man, how do the common Nigerians, how do they retrace their steps? It has to start with the total overhaul of our political system. It has to start with all these bad leaders actually taking a rest and allowing fresh minds and fresh brains come into place. But we see that so far it's not so. We still have recycled leaders every year and then. You see the same people that have been in power for the past 20, 30 years still wanting to come into power, still wanting to hold elected offices. Now you see a governor that has served for 8 years still wanting to now go to the Senate, still wanting to hold one political post or the other. Why not rest and allow someone else, someone with fresh ideas and innovations actually come in? But it's not so. Well, we're going to go into the details of today's report, and let's see what former President Olusegun Obasanjo has to say. On today's report, it says former President of Nigeria, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, has warned that Nigeria may experience what he termed the democratic quagmire if the country fails to retrace its political steps to the right direction. Now, he made the assertion while presenting his keynote address titled Respecting the Principles of Democracy in Port Harcourt on Thursday. The former president noted that Nigeria's democracy has gone through twists, dives, and turns since political independence. The best of the country's history has been the sustenance of democracy since the military transfer of power to an elected government in 1999, he opined. He, however, observed that there may be reasons to doubt how much lessons the leaders and followers have drawn from the country's past, and how far they are willing to go to deepen, widen, and strengthen democracy and democratic processes and practice. The former president declared that the ways in which the political class has practiced democracy has deepened contradictions, negative coalitions, distrust, disloyalty, and unpatriotic tendencies within and between communities and constituencies all over the country. He stated that this means that there is a deep structural and philosophical problem that must be dealt with. He informed that if the practice of democracy is superficial and opportunistic, and it is designed to pursue a struggle of limited objectives, it would precipitate variants of fractured engagements that cannot address structural and philosophical contradictions and challenges. In fact, the order of the day would be community against community, religion against religion. Ordinary citizens are then dragged into the directionless, meaningless, and opportunistic personal or narrow ambitions of leaders. The end result will be confusion, diffusion, distraction, and possibly leading to the separation and disintegration. He stressed that the democracy is possible in Nigeria and that the people have the capacity to build a culture of democratization. However, he insisted that Nigerians must recognize and accept the fact that it is an evolutionary process with principles. Now, without retracing our political steps to the right direction, the current process will either not produce the right leaders, or it will leave so many broken blocks on the path to governance and attract resources and energy away from the task of rebuilding Nigeria and consolidating our democratic practice. The result will be a democratic quagmire, increased corruption, insecurity, and survival of the fittest, richest, and better connected, with little or no recognition of merit, he said. Well, that is it on the details of today's report. Until we'll come your way next time with more news happenings around the country, please do well to stay safe. Bye-bye.